Greetings to you all. I'm Paul Friedman, founder of the Marriage Foundation. I used to be a divorce mediator. By the way, this is probably the best video I can ever ask to do because it goes to the heart of everything in marriage. This is how to love your spouse unconditionally. Now, I'm going to respond to both genders. You know, sometimes I do for men and sometimes I do for women, but this is a universal topic in that it encompasses all of us. Again, I'm Paul Friedman. Like the video, but hit the subscribe button. This video I'm going to do will change your life. Pay attention. So, we talk about unconditional love. There are so many people who don't even believe in it. They don't. For them, it's like belief in God. There's no such thing as God, they say. Prove it to me. In unconditional love is the same because they have not experienced it, but they have. What happens is this. First, let me start with kind of a diagram of who and what we are, because this is so valuable. You are a soul. You don't have a soul. You know, when I was a kid, sometimes we would ask each other, do you believe you have a soul? And like that. And later on in life, much later, I learned that we are not possessing a soul, but we are the soul. What we do possess is a body. We have a body. This is my body, possession. And this is my mind, possession. Who is it that's doing the possessing? God created mankind in His image, capital H. His image, the attributes of which are joy, ever new joy, ever expanding joy, love, ever increasing love. This is what we are. We're the soul. This soul is love itself, and it's unconditional love. Now, the closest that we have to exemplify unconditional love is the love of a mother. Now, yes, there's going to be exceptions, but in most cases, a child can become a murderer. The mother's love never wanes. The same cannot necessarily be said about a father, because a father is primarily reason-based. He lives mostly in his mind, but women are mostly heart-based. Unfortunately, because we're not properly taught, instead of being heart-based, they become emotions-based. And emotions are also of the mind. You have to understand this. This is very, very important. Say, I am a soul. I am all love. I am all joy. Within me is God's love and joy. That's what I am. And when you recognize this, even intellectually, it changes everything. Because then we have to put our mind and our body in their place. To do so, we have to have an understanding of what is the mind and what is the body. So the mind is a calculator. It is a very useful machine. It is not capable of experiencing love. Now, as we progress as human beings, as we evolve as human beings, we're able to saturate our minds with love, but the mind is not capable of truly experiencing love. It's a machine, any more than your computer is a machine, and neither is it capable of experiencing love. Go further. There's a hierarchy here. You have a body. And we know so much about bodies because we live in a material world and so much has been done to research what is a body, it's 1 trillion cells gathered together, isn't it? It has an intelligence, but without you, the soul, it has no life. Its life is derived from you. But the body, with its trillions of cells, you could say, has a mind of its own, and it's focused 100% on self-preservation. We learned this in middle school, I believe. This self-preservation manifests as, is this going to hurt me? What can I get out of this? That's all it's about. The rest are all calculations, processing, gaining an intellectual understanding. We need this mind. It's very important. But, and this is the clincher, we were never taught that we have a mind. So most of us think, until we finally get a video like this, that we are the mind. I am, I think, therefore I am, as the philosopher wrongly stated. Truly, it's I am, therefore I could use my mind to think. But because we don't know this, we have allowed our mind to supersede us, to get in between us and the reality of what we are. That reality of what we are is pure joy, pure love. Now, we all are already unconditional love as the soul. But the mind gets in the way. It says, danger, danger. And so it doesn't allow us, because we don't stop it. We have free will. We could stop it. But it doesn't allow us to experience the very reason why we got married. We met our soulmate, and we experienced this flash of love. And the mind couldn't get in front of it. And the mind said, well, I'll take advantage of this because we need to procreate. Going back to self-preservation. We need more of us for safety. And so what happened is the mind has turned the tables on us. And it has put itself in between us and our spouse. The true connection between us and our spouse is unconditional love, soul to soul. With your soulmate, you experience unconditional love, but you don't experience it out here somewhere. It begins in here, starting with recognition of who you are, of what you are. This is the difference between what we do here at the Marriage Foundation and what the world is doing about marriages. Now, in the world, you have trouble with your marriage. What do? You call up a therapist. I know therapists. I love them. I used to work with them. They used to send me all my business when I was a divorce mediator in 2000 until 2001. Good people. But they're trained by Freud. They don't get it. They call love an abstract thought. It's not. It could be a thought, but that's not what we seek. It's not what we live for. It's not what we are. So the point is this. Recognize that as soon as you're feeling that love, you could cultivate it into an opening flower into that unconditional love. And then you will learn to love your spouse unconditionally. That's how you do it. You cultivate that love, which means you have to stop the mind. You have to control the mind using your, not the mind's, free will. Now, when people come to us, what we do primarily at the Marriage Foundation, is we salvage marriages that are lost, that are finished. That's how I got into this. I helped a couple who came to me for a divorce. I was a divorce mediator, and they cried, and they said, we don't really want a divorce. We just don't know what else to do. They went through therapy. They went through couples counseling, individual counseling. They did everything you could think of. And they said, would you help us? You, after all, are a communication specialist. And in those days, everyone thought, if your marriage isn't working, it's a communications thing. And they were really big on sharing what your feelings are and all this. I did a deep dive and I realized, all that's wrong. They're not focused on love. They don't think about, they don't accept unconditional love. And until you do, you cannot achieve those beautiful benefits of the marriage that you signed up for. You should be, there's no reason why you're not, other than not knowing. You should be walking around in constant state of happiness, joy, that brings you to a place of marital bliss. But now that we are so screwed up, we have to learn a process. This is what we teach, of how to first gain control over the mind, and next start cultivating that love until it becomes an overwhelming force in our marriage. And then all the issues and the things like he's a narcissist, she's this, she's that, he's this, he's that, they go away. They don't count, because psychologically, all of us are screwed up. So what? God knows what he's doing, but he gave us marriage to learn to love unconditionally, and you can do it. I hope this has reached you, touched your heart. Experiment. Next time a negative thought comes into mind, stop it. Don't accept it. And replace that thought with, God, I feel your love, your joy. Let me be a channel of thy presence. You see? Not religious. Real. If it were religious, it's still real. It doesn't matter. The fact is, this is who and what we are. We already are unconditional love. Now we need to learn how to manifest it. Subscribe, like the video, go to our website, discover all that we have. It's beautiful. Thank you so much for visiting. God bless you. God bless your spouse, and take care. Thank you.